Hey guys!
We're here today to check out a patrono request from this patrono right here. As to check out Heidevolk. I don't know how to pronounce it. The name of the song is Een Wolf in Mijn Hart. I sound Scottish. Een Wolf in Mijn Hart.
In Mijn Hart.
No, actually, I sound more like a pirate. Een Wolf in Mijn Hart, matey. See what I did there? I think it's Wolf in My Heart. I don't know. Is it German? Probably it's German.
Then it's Wolf. Because the V instead
of... Oh yeah,
the...
Een Wolf in My Heart.
Like Volkswagen.
Yeah. Why do I sound like a fucking Scottish guy when I say this? I sound like Groundskeeper Willie. Een Wolf in My Heart, laddie.
Laddie.
I think it's because I'm watching Outlander and everybody's Scottish in that show. Lassie. They say that quite a bit. Lassie. Everybody's a lassie. All right. Anyways, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right. Let's check it out.
De ziel schuilt in mij, ik vecht voor mijn bestaan. Mijn wolvenhart leidt mij op jacht om de honger te verslaan. Geboren in het duister, razend door de nacht. En mijn vijand op de hielen, schuw ik de dag. Er leeft een wolf in mijn hart, en die vecht voor zijn bestaan. Mijn prooi in de duisternis, als een stille schaduw in de wildernis. Plots ruik ik bloed, ik val aan het slaak. Een wilde krijs terwijl mijn prooi het leven laat. Want ik leef voor de jacht. Ik leef voor de strijd, ik heb vroeger nog spijt. Er leeft een wolf in mijn hart, en die vecht voor zijn bestaan. Brengt mij weg in de nacht,
Well, I was right. It is the wolf in my heart. I mean, finally I hit one. So,
now, dude, I don't know if it was just me, but what language do you think that this was given us to?
oh, I don't know.
Because
Sounded like English, but just like
it sounded like English with a heavy accent.
with an accent.
But then sometimes it sounded like they were speaking a different language. You know,
It's almost like they made their own language, but it sounded like English somehow. I don't know.
yeah, it's reminding me of fuck. I can't. Okay, well, I can't remember the band, so I'm not even gonna try to embarrass myself here. But it's a band we
Too
did.
late.
A band we did before we went to Finland. And we couldn't tell if they were speaking English or Swedish in the song.
It wasn't Trollfest, was it?
No. The song started with an M, like Ms. Bolt or some stuff like that. I can't remember.
My balls, maybe.
My balls. But I remember at the time we couldn't decipher whether it was in English or it was in Swedish or in any other language because it was just the way they were singing. But then we found out I think it was English. And that's the same vibe I'm getting from this. I can't actually sit here and try deciphering it because I don't know. At some point,
When he's saying the wolf in my heart, sounds like he's singing English just with a heavy accent.
yeah. But that's the only part. The rest of the song, there's something else there. I don't know.
I don't know. It's one of those.
It's one of those.
It's one of those, and it is what it is.
It's a mystery. It also, when they were singing, it didn't sound like they were German.
No. They didn't sound German to me either. Actually, they didn't. They might be, but they didn't sound. They didn't sound Das Auto to me. But
Yeah, the Germans weren't there.
yeah, the Germans. Anyways, outside of that, what did you think about the song?
The song was good. Very uplifting song. I like the whole story behind it.
Oh, the cartoon and stuff.
Yeah. It would be cool if there was a show about said cartoon.
Said characters.
Yeah, it would be really cool. Very, very cool. Based in the Viking Age, a Saxon warrior attacked by the Vikings and then becomes whatever the fuck that he was in the end. With the wolf in his heart.
With a wolf in his heart.
That would be really, really cool because usually you're cheering for the Vikings.
But at the beginning it was a lone wolf, and then there was a wolf pack. So, they went full NWO.
And then
Too sweet. It was
too sweet. In shows like this, usually you're cheering for the Vikings, but maybe in this one you'd be cheering for the ex-Saxons because they're now.
I don't know, man. I have a hard time not cheering for Vikings on any show.
That's true.
I don't care how bad they are, whatever. I'm always kind of like, yeah, you know what? It is what it is.
Pillage and plunder.
Yeah. You know, who doesn't want to partake? Who doesn't? I mean, back in the day, like, can you really blame them? They didn't know any better, you know.
They didn't know any better.
It was the law of the land. You took what was there to be taken.
Exactly.
You know, it was the strong will survive and the weak shall fall. It is what it is. If that didn't exist, you know, I'm not a revisionary. I don't like to look back in the past and say, oh, if this was... No, you have to understand that us as humans, the only way we could survive is that if the strong move forward and the weak didn't.
Yeah.
If the weak survived, then we as a whole humanity, we would have perished. No, you need to push forward the stronger seeds and leave behind the weaker ones. So it is what it is. We look back now, it's like, that was horrible and this and that. Like, you know, colonialism, you know, it was horrible. People went to other countries and
But guess what?
I mean, but, you know, if that didn't exist, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. You know what I mean? Like, there would be no Canada. If everybody stayed in their own pocket, imagine that. If everybody stayed in their own pocket, whatever they're from, imagine how unbalanced the world would be. Like, I mean, and I'm not saying that the world is balanced now, by no means. There's still people who have no running water, so it's not overly balanced right now. But, you know, to a certain extent, there is some sort of...
We would not have everything we have now. We'd still be, like, years in the past.
Yeah, man, I
feel like the only way we were able to go forward
if the Portuguese didn't get on a boat and go to India to get the spices, our food would be fucking bland. So what? Like, we can't leave our borders? Like, we can't, you know... You have to look at how things were then. Did bad shit come from it? Of course bad shit came from it.
Bad shit comes
from everything. You think if we as humans went to another planet and there was life there, don't you think we would do some crazy shit there too? Of course we would. That's who we are. I mean, we do crazy shit to our neighbors and they're right next door to us. You know what I mean? Like shoveling the snow and throwing a few shovels onto their driveway. Whatever. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're horrible people. Just live with it. So... I'm not a big fan of looking back and saying, that was horrible. The people involved in it were horrible. No, you gotta judge the book by its cover, and the cover then was different than the cover now.
Exactly.
You're looking at something with modern lenses, but you're looking at an old picture. You can't fucking do that. It's like me watching a movie that was done in 1960. Oh fuck, the special effects were horrible.
Terrible.
The
That's
first
what they
King
had.
Kong, the first King Kong movie, the special effects were horrible. Dude, that's what they had. You have to judge it by
And back
what
in the
the
day, that was
technology was
amazing.
there. Exactly. You have to judge it by the technology. You have to judge it by the. You have to judge it by the time frame in which that thing was done.
What was
not
acceptable,
not
what
now.
wasn't.
Yeah, you can't look from now then because you know what's going to happen 30, 40 years from now. Those generations are going to look back on us now and say, what a fucking bunch of morons those guys
Exactly.
were. There was a pandemic and people were fighting about wearing masks. You know, that kind of bullshit. People want to say that in the future.
Oh, I bet you.
People are going to say that in the future. So, you know, you can never look at something that's happened in a specific time and judge it based on today's standards. You have to look at it from those standards. Now, you can take lessons from those standards and say that, wow, you know, even though that's what they did then, it wasn't right. And now we know better. So let's improve society. Let's improve our way of life so that we don't follow into those same mistakes. You know, like slavery was okay then, it's not okay now, but we can look back and say, wow, that was really not cool. So as we move forward, let's make sure that never happens again. Make sure there's equal. Yeah, we can do that, but you cannot go back and look at the person and say, you know, Joe was a bad guy. No, he was just doing what everybody else was doing back then. You know what I mean? I'm not a big fan of that whole, like, you know, modern lenses looking at an old picture. I'm just not a big fan of that because I don't think it's fair. Honestly, I don't think it's fair.
Because if those same people grew up here,
they would have probably a different opinion.
Exactly.
They would have a different view. It's all about your upbringing. Perfect example from a different perspective, your mother. I love octopus and, for example, rabbit. Your mother thinks it's disgusting.
But the reason
because
why-
that's what I grew up eating. So
Exactly.
it's all about perspective. It's all about perspective. So anyway, I can't even believe we got into this conversation coming from this. Anyways, the song. Did you dig the whole folkiness?
I dig the song. Yeah, the folkiness, the vocals,
Multiple vocals.
multiple vocalists really gave
A lot of choirs, like backing
Yeah,
vocals.
yeah, there was the more upbeat vocals, and there was the ones that kind of stayed linear as like a deeper vocal, and I liked that because it just gave it a nice. It was like a cake. Had nice layers to it.
I like the vibe of this song, dude. I really like the whole folkiness that it has, the upbeat vibe that it has, almost like the fire camp, around the fire telling a story
Yeah.
and singing, and then everybody chiming in and singing along. It had all of those characteristics. It wasn't super heavy. It had some folky moments in it. It blended really well. Really enjoyed the track. And the video made the track even more enjoyable because you're
Yeah.
watching the whole thing play out in front of you in cartoons. So who doesn't like that? All right. And you know what? This is definitely the first time we're checking out this band because I don't think I would have forgotten this band if we've done them before on the channel. So, all right. Anyways, a nice Patrono request. Thank you for watching, and I guess we'll see you guys at the next video. Take care.
See ya.